Alright, so I'm just going to explain what I'm doing. This is about the ignition and relates to a forum thread, and it's all about that anyhow. So what I'm doing is rechecking the wiring, because the suggestion has been that the wiring is wrong, and it seems to be wrong, but it's also right because the bike starts and it runs. So how wrong can it be? I mean, if it was all wrong, it just wouldn't run, or only one cylinder would run or something, but both run. And it idles fine, but it clearly doesn't advance well, and it has trouble as soon as you rev it up. It's very rough. And so in any case, the bike has got non-standard ignition so far as it has replacement pickups in the clutch cover. It has Dyna coils, but it still has the Bosch boxes here. They both look very fresh. This bike had a restoration prior to me owning it. Not a complete, but pretty good restoration. And I have a feeling those were replaced because they both look absolutely brand new. That's when the Dynacos were put in. But that one had the original pickups mounted. That had the original pickups, but they were repaired. So here one can see that the wires were resoldered, and then using an epoxy resin, they were sort of sealed in like that, which is pretty good. It's solid, keeps them nice and, well, it keeps them out of the oil. Certainly better than just soldering them up and leaving them. Now there's a chance that when the person did that they may have got the leads back to front, the horizontal and the vertical back to front. There's a chance that that may have been the case. Because when it came to wiring up the new pickups, it didn't seem to quite agree with the old pickups. The wiring didn't seem to agree. So, of course, I could just ignore that and go by the manuals, you know, the workshop manuals, because what else would you do? Well, the thing with the workshop manuals is this. And there's a problem with the workshop manuals, and I have a thread from a couple of years ago going into that problem because I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Well, let's just to see what we are talking about. I'm talking about this rotor, right? And it's got two steps to it like that. And as we know, it spins clockwise because these Ducati bevels, the crankshaft rotates not in the direction of travel, but in the other direction, clockwise. So as it comes around, this thing here, the little stepped thingy, would come down to the bottom here, and the lower part would hit the lower pickup first, and then the vertical pickup second, the upper pickup. Okay, so as far as we know, the lower pickup is the horizontal, and the upper one is the vertical. Horizontal first, then vertical, then whatever, 270 degrees of nothing, and then back to the horizontal. And that would, in theory, agree with this here. And this is where it's very strange, and it doesn't work, is that all of the manuals, like this, well, all of them, either in Falloon's book or in the workshop guides here, I've got multiple workshop guides for this bike. Doesn't really matter. The different years, it's all the same. Now what's happening here, and it might be hard to see because the GoPro hasn't got focus, is that we have, I've got something to point with. Yeah, what we have here is two pickups there, the two pickup coils, the electronics up here and there, and here's this little rotor. Well, the rotor has the steps on it there. I can see the stepped, the high bit and the low bit. And the rotor has an arrow here. And the arrow suggests it's going this way. Which, as we know, well, that doesn't work according to the side-on view. But let's just say it's doing it, you know, the other way around. It's looking at it maybe from the engine side, right, through the book like that. But even if, so that's the assumption, is that this is the other way around. You're looking from the engine, the crank, outwards, in which case it would be going that way. And that would fit with this little stepped bit, because then the lower step is coming around first, and then the higher step is coming around second. So that would make sense. So we'll assume that that's correct and that this is working. It's coming around, it's hitting one pickup first, and then 90 degrees later it hits the second one. Okay, which pickup is this? Well, if we follow it around, follow the wiring up and around here, we go to the little chocolate block there, into the electronics box, and then out of there over to the coil. And then out of the coil to the spark plug. The spark plug there is 35. Well, which spark plug is 35? 35 is the vertical cylinder spark plug. Vertical, not the horizontal. So something's back to front here. Something's back to front. And every book you look at has it like that, right? And that's very irritating when you're trying to figure out what's going on. Same thing. This is my, well, this one actually has my bike in it, specifically my bike, on one of the diagrams. Dun, dun, dun. 77 to 82. It doesn't really matter. They're all the same. They're all the same. They've got the same little picture, the two steps, the thing going that way around, hits that pickup first, goes up there. 34 in this particular diagram. What's 34? The vertical cylinder spark plug. Every single one of these does exactly that. Let's have a look at this one. This is a SS 78 to 80 wiring diagram. Let's check that one. It's slightly different looking, okay? Same little picture, the thing with the step comes around, little arrow saying it goes that way, hits this one first, goes there, goes up the inside, over to here, 29. What's 29? The vertical cylinder spark plug, okay? So that's very confusing. I don't think I can make that point more clear. Why are they all the diagrams suggesting that the vertical one gets fired first, when from what I can see it's the horizontal that's meant to get done first? And because the lower pickup is the horizontal one, right? And if the crank is going clockwise, it hits the lower one first. And with my pickups, all right, these are my pickups. There's the lower one. It's got an O on it. Now, after looking at all these diagrams, I emailed this guy back who provided me these pickups. And I said, look, there's something, can you confirm that this is correct? That this is O and that's V, and that you haven't got them the other way around? Because according to the damn diagrams, it's telling me that the V should be there, you know, something's wrong. So he emailed back and said, no, this is correct. O is that one, O is the bottom one. And so when I installed these, I didn't install them in the case. He did that because he had the tools for sticking them in the right place. But I wired them up. See, they arrive like this with 2 long leads and 2 short leads. And so to be absolutely certain, the indication here is that the one with the little yellow things marked V are the white and the white and black striped of the V pickup. And the other 2 are the O pickup. But I didn't just go with that. I actually sat down and wired it all up to an ohm meter, and then with trying all different combinations and cross combinations here, I watched the ohm meter as I waved a piece of metal in front of the pickup, you know, a pair of scissors I think it was, and I was able to make it react. I could make the ohm meter react when it was, you know, and all I did though was confirm that how he had done this was correct. Those 2 were the vertical, and the other 2 were the horizontal. So I was pretty, wanted to get that clear, you know, before I soldered it all up and then stuck it all inside the crankcase and filled it up with oil. Wanted to be pretty sure about that. And so as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure still about that. And so as that all comes out of the clutch cover, we have the 2 with the yellow things. Those were the vertical ones. the one with the stripe and the one without the stripe. And they come in here and they go V with the without the stripe and the one with the stripe there. So the way I've marked it is vertical and then stripe. That's how I've marked it. Then on the other side we have the stripe is on this side and the horizontal non-stripe is on that side. Okay. Now as we go into the electronics here, this fits in there. The vertical white, vertical stripe. V white, there it is, and the V stripe. And then as we swap it over, we get the horizontal stripe, which is exactly what we see there. I can tell you from here it's got a stripe on that side, non-stripe on that side, which is all correct. And so coming through here, what should happen is the vertical, say the vertical stripe, looking at the diagrams, you know, any one of these diagrams, let's take say this one. I can go to the diagram, and this is quite fadey, but regardless, the vertical, I'm just going to take that one, the vertical, forget all this stuff up down here, but one of them, the lead, and according to this, the white black, the stripe one, should go into this connector, and it should be the middle one on the side that only has two. Okay, the middle one on the side that only has two, that's that. And if we look here, it says white black. That's perfect. And if I look behind, I can see it's white and black. And the one right next to it is white, which is the other end of that pickup. So those two, the vertical, I'm on the right side here. Here we go. So the vertical should go to this box, and when I plug it into this box, which is where it was, then that will go, that box goes to this coil, which goes to this vertical cylinder. So vertical, 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 vertical. And all I need to test here is that white and black there goes to the white and black vertical, which is that one. And looky-dee, there it is. And the white here goes to the white vertical, which is this one, which it does. Doesn't go to any of the others, just goes to that. And I can do the same on the other side. Here we go. Same thing. The middle. There we go. Oops. I'll just hold that into the one that's got the white and black lead. I can see it. And now this should go to the one there. And of course, the other one goes to there. This is all correct. You know, so according to what I, you know, what I've just measured and what I know, the lower pickup is going to the O, and it's going to the front cylinder, the lower cylinder, through the box on the other side, and the top pickup is going to the other one. It's going to this one, going to the top pickup. It's the right way around. Everything's correct. The only thing we're not sure about is whether the stripe and the non-stripe is the right way around. I had the impression it probably didn't matter. What I did was match up the stripe with the stripe. There's some logic to that, isn't there? Stripe with stripe. And I thought, well, these are just coils, and it's just sensing a change in impedance, isn't it? As far as I'm aware. So it shouldn't really matter, even if it wasn't stripe to stripe. But so I made it stripe to stripe, both sides, and that should have been fine. The question is, do I need to swap those around, stripe and white, on both of them, stripe and white? Is that really going to make all the difference? I've seen it written somewhere in a post, I think it was on Bevel Heaven, that if the leads are swapped, reversed, you'll get no advance. Well, that's what I've got, is no advance. And very rough running because of that. it's possible, or no, I think it's running at full advance all the time. That's what I think it is. It's actually at full advance, and that's what the post said too. But is that simply because the coil lead is back to front? When the coil, what is it really doing? So this is the diagram from the pickup guy. And so on his, he's got it the right way around. You know, unlike all of the manuals, this seems to indicate the right way around. You're looking at the case, it spins clockwise, counter to the direction of travel. It hits the lower pickup first, which is the horizontal cylinder, goes out, goes into the electronics, and then boom, whatever. And then it hits the vertical and goes that way. You know, I can see here that there's a lead coming out the side of the box and a lead coming out the middle. Obviously, one should keep them the same, which I did. And the question is, if I simply flip those over, all I have to do is, you know, flip the leads here. Is that really the change that's necessary to make this work? I'm not sure. And so before I do that and get into another mess, because I've got to do it, set all this up and get up the hill and everything to check it, I thought I'd just finish this, do a video, and send it off for comment. The rest of the stuff, I checked. The coils are good. They give the 5 ohm on either side. Even there, I'm not sure if it matters which way the leads actually go. I'm not actually sure. But the fact is, I'm getting a spark, and it's a very good spark. This is really about timing, not about whether there's a spark. And so at this point, it's already done its timing. It's irrelevant. It's given me the spark, so it really wouldn't matter. I mean, if I got these the wrong way, which I don't believe I do, it would have, as far as I'm concerned, no effect. However, I'm no expert, so who knows. So I'm going to leave this undone like this and post the video for comment. And if anyone can give me their opinion on really whether these leads, this is going to fix it, just swapping those two, then I'll sit down tomorrow and do that and put it all back together and try it. All right, thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.